Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. It's another paid request this time from Walter. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this time we get to Horrible Bosses 2, which came out in 2014. I think even Jason Bateman said that no one really wanted to do a sequel, but the only reason it got made was because the first film made money. And that they tried to do what they could, but this is one of those things where, number one, you get a different director. In this case, you get the director of That's My Boy, one of the worst Adam Sandler films. Second off, it makes the first film pretty pointless. What I mean by that is, the whole point of the first film was for them to overcome the obstacles of their terrible bosses so that they will have a better livelihood, which they did at the end. Jason Bateman got the promotion, started working with Bob Newhart. Jason Sudeikis, a co-worker who was nice to him, she's going to be the boss. Charlie Day was able to blackmail Jennifer Aniston so that she wouldn't harass him anymore. The story was over. The story was done. There was no more story left to tell. But money talks, bullshit walks. In this film, they've now quit their jobs to work together to be inventors of the shower buddy, which they show on a TV show, and one of the hosts is T.D. Michael T. from Key and Peele. And it looks like a shitty idea anyway. It's just a shower head, but then it can also shoot shampoo. It doesn't seem that worthwhile of an idea to me. And then the first big joke is, oh my god, look how funny it is. Behind the curtain, it looks like Charlie Day is giving Jason Sudeikis a hand job. Even though he's trying to fix the water so that it'll flow for the demonstration of the product. I mean, this is a fucking joke you might as well ripped off from Austin fucking Powers. You know, all you think stuff is coming out of Austin Powers' ass or something like that. Great, you stole that fucking joke from Austin Powers. And I'm sure there's other movies that did that before. It's just like, really? This is the first big joke you have? And while I don't think the three actors, Jason Bateman, Charlie Day, Jason Sudeikis, I don't think they did a bad job. It's just, it's old hat already. Like, a lot of this feels like regurgitation of the first movie. Spoilers. Where, even by the end of the film, there's a moment where the cops have them, the cops are ready to arrest them, but then in the first one, the navigation guide had it recorded. In this one, they have a phone with the same ringtone, and they're able to realize, wait a minute, you're the bad guy, these guys are innocent. It's literally a confrontation with the good guys, the cops, and the bad guy, and the bad guy saying they're the ones that did it, but then he gets found out so that they arrest him. Like, they're the same type of ending. Once again, you got Jamie Foxx's Motherfucker Jones. Once again, you have the joke of people shoving stuff up their ass, only it's not Jason Sudeikis, it's the maid doing it. And it just wasn't as creative. It wasn't as strong of a story either. Because here's the thing, at least the story in the first was you could understand this ploy of these three guys working these jobs and these terrible bosses. You felt sorry for them. Here, it felt like you brought this on your own, in a way. You quit your jobs. You got together for this shitty idea where you want to now... We want to be our own bosses. You blindly trust Christoph Waltz, which is Christoph Waltz. Of course you don't trust Christoph Waltz. From Inglourious Basterds and that shitty Green Horror movie. It's Christoph Waltz. Of course you don't fucking trust him. And his son, played by Chris Pine, which I don't know how Christoph Waltz did to Chris Pine. Okay, I guess. Wait, Christoph Waltz did to Chris Pine? With very different accents? Okay. And I'm the son of Sam Jackson. But then lo and behold, you guys get fucked over, you're $500,000 in debt, and you're trying to figure out what to do next. And also, it becomes pointless because by the end of the movie, I know I'm jumping ahead, they said they wanted to do this to be their own bosses. That's why they said that. Then by the end, they don't even get that because the whole business forecloses, but then Kevin Spacey bought it, and now they're back to work with Kevin Spacey. So, and also, Charlie Day gets wounded at the end. Jennifer Aniston, which I don't know how the fuck she got that because I thought she was a dentist, but I guess also she's a doctor too. She had sex with Charlie Day when he was in a coma, and then says, I'm going to fuck your wife sometime. So the whole ending of him getting his comeuppance and over Jennifer Aniston was pointless, because she got what she wanted, and now she don't go for his wife. Get away from Kevin Spacey, going in jail didn't matter, because now Kevin Spacey is their boss. So this whole thing being your own boss, and you had these jobs that you seemed like you were happy with at the end of the film, but now you're not happy with. Like, you just fucked yourself over, and you made a lot of the first film fucking pointless. It was a shitty story, and the only times I chuckle was once in a while with Jason Bateman's deadpan delivery of certain lines. So again, let me get back a bit. So again, they quit their jobs. The shower buddy, shit idea. They're testing it. Looks like Charlie Day giving Jason Sudeikis a hand job. Ho ho ho. Oh, here's a hole. I better stick my finger in it. Oh my God, is he sticking a finger up his ass? Of course not. Chris Pine, which I don't think did a bad job, honestly. He offers to help their idea. Here's an offer, take it or leave it. Oh, we don't know. Well, not many people that turned down $3 million. Wait, we'll take it. Nope, it's too late. That is Christoph Waltz. Gives them a bullshit story. They blindly accept it. They hire people. They hire women because Jason Sudeikis wants to fuck them. And then ultimately, Jason Bateman has to tell them, you can't fuck these women. You know that, right? What? Yeah, because that's sexual harassment. Well, we have to fire him. No, that'd be harassment as well. So it just comes off as steezy and steamy of Jason Sudeikis, and just not likable of the character. I get he liked having sex in the first movie. It just seemed like very, again, steezy and... yeah, just wasn't a fan. Just made him less likable. You have a montage of them setting up the business and getting loans. Ultimately find out Christoph Waltz fucked them because they never signed anything. Shows how stupid they are. They never signed anything with Christoph Waltz. So they're $500,000 in debt. This guy's gonna buy the shit cheap, and now the stuff's mine. So I buy your shit for cheap. I take your idea and I don't sell it as my own, called the Shower Pal. Our three characters are pissed. The one moment I laughed at is when they're trying to figure out what to do next, and they're writing on the board, murder, blah, and Jason Sudeikis writes, but misspells kidnapping. So as Jason Bateman goes, kidnapping? That's kidnapping. One more P, and then it's kidnapping. Like the way Jason Bateman says, you forgot a P. But we're not going to kidnap anymore. We're not going to kidnap anyone. Because the motherfucker misspelled kidnapping. And then Jason Bateman's trying to brush it off. And it's like, did you use a Sharpie? See, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. You guys are too fucking stupid. It's like, that whole bit was pretty funny. And then I forget what it was. They also bring up the movie Speed. And they do this for the laugh. Just because Jason Bateman's character's pissed at him, so he wants to make him feel bad. It's like, your idea is just the movie sucks. No, Sandra Bullock was good in it. Just the way Jason Bateman becomes deadpan these scenes. Like that one scene I did laugh at. That was the one scene I liked in the movie. But they go see Kevin Spacey, and then lo and behold, of course, why would he help him? And Kevin Spacey says, legal-wise, you shall, gives him the middle fingers. I'm like, I give you the middle finger, Kevin Spacey, because you're a fucking perverted piece of shit. Fuck you, Kevin Spacey. But he plays evil well, and now we know why he plays evil well, because he's an evil person. Good actor. I mean, unlike Ezra Miller, Kevin Spacey's actually a good actor, but he's still a piece of trash human being. And it's just, a lot of the dads either becomes regurgitation or just not as clever. Regurgitation as in they see Jamie Foxx again. Instead of bringing up Strangers on a Train, they bring up 9 to 5 and Jane Fonda. Instead of Dormont from a Train, Danny DeVito like in the first movie. Lame dads like this code name, stop saying my name. Oh, hey, what should... You keep saying... You said my name 8 times now, okay? Forget about the code names. Or... Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis try and get this nitrous oxide from the dentistry office. They get locked in because Jennifer Aniston and her group comes in for a sex addiction therapy. So then... Jason Bateman has to come in to pretend he's one of the group. And has to make up this story that he was in wrestling camp. He was 14... And Jennifer Aniston's getting turned on, so he's got to make up more stuff like, yeah, I had his dick in my mouth and I lit that sweaty asshole. It's like, ideas trying to be shocking in terms of what he's saying, and I didn't think it was funny. I just thought it was even more lowbrow than the first one, even more try hard and being raunchy and shocking. I'm going to say shotty, but this shotty and raunchy. Yeah, that's a made up word. Shotty and raunchy. Put it there. Shotty. Trying to be shotty. It just came off as shitty. They finally get out of there. They tried to, their plan is to kidnap Chris Pine and hold him for ransom for Christoph Waltz to pay them. So they hide in the closet. They see the maid, who Chris Pine treats like shit, and then the maid is sticking stuff up her ass, and like the toothbrush, just like Jason Sudeikis did in the first movie. Now they accidentally fucked up the nitrous oxide, and they pass out. Now I remember years and years ago, my friend Mike OCP reviewed this, and he said there was a fart joke in this. I don't know if I missed it. I didn't hear any fart jokes in the movie, so... If anyone who saw this film, did my mind just pass out? Like their nitrous oxide pass out? And I missed the fart joke? Because I didn't... If it did, fuck it, because I hate fart jokes. If it didn't, I commend them for not doing the fart jokes. I just know my friend brought that up, and I'm like, did I miss that, or did they actually do it? So they come to find out that Chris Pine actually wants in on the ransom. He wants in. But you asked for too little. You should ask for $5 million. So it just becomes a lot less of an interesting story. Because like I said, in the first one, it's their goal to deal with these bosses that are making their life a living hell. Here, It's them dealing with Chris Pine for this ransom for a problem that they fucked themselves over regardless, so I have less pity for them. I do have a lot less pity for them compared to the first movie. Jonathan Banks, good actor. He was on Breaking Bad. I remember I remember him back in the day. He was in 48 Hours. He was in Beverly Hills Cop. He's been a lot of stuff back in the day. He was on the TV show Wise Guy. Good actor, Jonathan Banks. He plays a police officer. Chris Pine fucks him over because he shoots his own dad, and it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Why don't I just shoot him and put the blame on you? Jamie Foxx tries to help him out in this kind of blasé car chase. And like I said, it's kind of just lame dads. Like, there's a bit where they're trying to act cool, so try and do the super cool slow-mo walk. Because they talked with Jamie Foxx again, and Jamie Foxx, like, despite what you guys want to think, you guys are criminals. You guys try to kill each other's bosses, now you're trying to do a kidnapping. You're some crazy guys. So they try and do the slow-mo walk out of the bar, but it just comes off as cringeworthy and unfunny. And like I said, by the end, you have almost the same ending as the first. Just replace Kevin Spacey with Chris Pine. Replace the nav guide, Gregory, hearing the conversation to this phone Chris Pine has that has the same dial, like, not the same music. And even Jonathan Banks like, wait a minute, if you were kidnapped, you had a phone, why didn't you call the police? So then Chris Pine does Jonathan Banks, and Charlie Day tries to help him, but he gets wounded. And Jonathan Banks knocks Chris Pine out. And that's where we get the ending where Charlie Day was in a coma for a bit, and Jennifer Aniston raped him, and is now saying she's going to fuck his wife. Their business got foreclosed, and Kevin Spacey boss, and now Kevin Spacey's their boss. It just feels like they're back to square one, like they were in the first movie. It does. It feels like they're back to where they were at the first movie. So it felt like all they did in the first movie was for naught. And that's like one of the big crimes of the sequel. Now, I liked the first Horrible Bosses, but it wasn't like a favorite. If it was, I would be even more pissed. But just, other than a few deadpan lines from Jason Bateman, it feels like it tries to be a bit raunchier. It feels like trying to be a bit... You know what? This is like the Hangover sequels. A lot of repeated gags or repeated events. The new ones just come off as a bit, I don't know, uglier. I don't know how else to put it. I guess I'm thinking about the ending of the film. And just, it was not needed. We all know this was made only for money. Yeah, a lot of movies are. You can say a lot of sequels are not needed, but this did nothing to benefit the first film. It just did the opposite and hurt it. So, the plot wasn't that interesting. Like I said, the predicament, I feel less sorry for the main characters. They feel a little bit more at fault. I'm like, you dumb fucks. They feel bad they're back to square one in the first, so it feels not just pointless, but a regression. It felt like it went backwards and lame. Just pretty lame sequel. And it felt like more poorly paced, and it was like 10 minutes longer than the first one. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Horrible Bosses 1 was pretty fun. This one is a pretty shitty sequel. We'll see you guys later.